उससे भी ज्यादा बड़ी बात, रजिस्टर करते ही आपको 10,000 का माल, 10,000 का स्टडी मटेरियल, लेक्चर और इसके साथ हमारे रैंकर के साथ एक 1-to-1 सेशन जहां आप अपनी प्रॉब्लम, अपनी स्ट्रेटजी डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, ये सब मिलेगा। तो दिए हुए लिंक पे रजिस्टर करिए तुरंत।
मेरा नाम ज्ञानेश्वर मूले है। अभी मैं आजकल राष्ट्रीय मानवाधिकार आयोग में सदस्य हूँ। उसके पहले मैंने अपने जीवन के 36 साल भारतीय विदेश सेवा में लगाए और बहुत अच्छा कार्यकाल रहा देश में विदेश में। तो 1983 में मैंने फॉरेन सर्विस ज्वाइन करने के बाद मसूरी हुआ ट्रेनिंग मेरा, थोड़ा दिल्ली में ट्रेनिंग हो गया और सडनली मुझे जो है जापान भेजा गया एज अ 3rd सेक्रेटरी। मैं बताऊं, सच में ऐसा अनुभव रहा कि जैसे किसी गांव वाले बच्चे को उठा के आपने पटक दिया विदेश में। लेकिन वो भी मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा अवसर था, बहुत बड़ा मौका था सीखने का, पढ़ने का। मैंने जापानी अच्छे से सीख ली, सो मच सो कि आज भी मैं जापानी बोल सकता हूँ अच्छे से, किसी से भी किसी भी विषय के बारे में बात कर सकता हूँ। ये विदेश सेवा की ही देन है। उसके बाद मैं भारत आया, आई डिड 4 years इन कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री, फिर मॉस्को चला गया, वहाँ पर भी मैंने 3 साल काम किया। रशिया उस समय बहुत बदल रहा था, साम्यवाद यानी कि कम्युनिज़म से वो फ्री हो गया, अपने शाकल्स तोड़ दिए, एक नई व्यवस्था वहाँ आ गई, वो देखने का भी मौका मिला मुझे। उसके बाद वापस मैं भारत जब आया तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस में काम किया। एक इस दरमियान और एक पोस्टिंग मैंने जापान में की, जबकि मैं वहाँ काउंसलर बन के चला गया ऑन अ डायरेक्टर लेवल पोस्ट। उस समय मैंने कोशिश की कि आज आप जो टोयोटा कंपनी भारत में दिखती है, वो भारत में आने के लिए ज़्यादा उत्सुक नहीं थे, लेकिन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि उनके भारत आने के सफ़र में मेरा भी योगदान रहा, क्योंकि ये बहुत बड़ी कंपनी थी और बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट उस समय भारत में आने वाला था। I worked for that also. Subsequently, I came back to India. Then I was posted to Mauritius. It's a beautiful country. 70% of that people of that country are of Indian origin, primarily from Bhojpur area. Bhojpuri is one of the common languages there. Then of course there are other communities from Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra. But prominent community is from Bihar, who went there in 19th and early 20th century. वो बहुत ही अलग पोस्टिंग थी, अच्छी पोस्टिंग थी, and that time I was able to help to establish a cyber tower with the Indian assistance in that country. Subsequently, I was posted to Syria. Syria was a peaceful country that time. I learned a lot about culture, geography, about the Arab-Israeli conflict, how the geopolitics works overall. सीरिया तो बहुत सुंदर देश था, आज अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो पूरा तबाह हो चुका है, क्योंकि वहाँ युद्ध छिड़ गया, फिर इस्लामिक फोर्सेस आ गए, वेस्टर्न फोर्सेस इस्लामिक फोर्सेस में युद्ध हो गया। लेकिन वहाँ पर बहुत मुझे सीखने को मिला अबाउट जियोपॉलिटिक्स, कि कैसे कन्फ्लिक्ट्स होते हैं भाषा के बेसिस पे, प्रदेश के बेसिस पे, रिसोर्सेज के बेसिस पे, वो देखने को मिला। उसके बाद में भारत आके यहाँ पर 3 साल मैंने कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरीट में सलाहकार के रूप में काम किया और मालदीव्स में हाई कमिश्नर के रूप में मुझे काम करने का मौका मिला। मालदीव्स बहुत छोटा देश है, आप जानते हैं, हमारा पड़ोसी देश है, मित्र देश है, लेकिन कई बार जो है दो देश के रिश्ते जो है कॉम्प्लिकेटेड भी बन जाते हैं, कॉम्प्लेक्स बन जाते हैं, तो उसमें हाई कमिश्नर का रोल बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट रहता है। और वो भी काम करने का और देखने का मौका मिला। वहाँ पर हमने हमारे और उस देश में मैंने एयर सेवा जो है, एविएशन सर्विसेज, पहले फ़्लाइट सिर्फ त्रिवेंद्रम और बेंगलोर आती थी, मैंने दिल्ली शुरू कराई डायरेक्ट फ़्लाइट, मुंबई डायरेक्ट फ़्लाइट शुरू कराई, चेन्नई डायरेक्ट फ़्लाइट शुरू की। तो इस तरह का योगदान भी एक हाई कमिश्नर कर सकता है किसी देश में। एज आई सेड कि स्काई इज़ द लिमिट फॉर वर्किंग इन द फॉरेन सर्विस। देन आई वेंट टू न्यूयॉर्क एज अ काउंसिल जनरल। काउंसिल जनरल के रूप में मेरे पास वहाँ 10 राज्यों का जुरिस्डिक्शन था, जिसमें मुझे काम करने का मौका मिला, एक फ्रीडम भी मिला। तो हमने बहुत सारे नए नए वहाँ प्रयोग किए। एक दो प्रयोगों के बारे में मैं बताना चाहता हूँ। जैसे हमने एक प्रयोग किया, काउंसलेट एट योर डोर स्टेप। मैंने देखा कि लोगों को अक्सर भारत के बारे में पता नहीं होता है, हमारे पासपोर्ट के नियमों के बारे में पता नहीं होता है, OCI कार्ड लेना है तो कैसे लेना है इसके बारे में पता नहीं होता है, वीज़ा कैसे लेना है इसके बारे में पता नहीं होता है। तो मैं करता था कि हमारे पूरे अफसर जो है उनको लेकर एक राज्य में मैं 2 दिन के लिए कैंप लगाता था और वहाँ के लोगों की समस्याएं सुनता था। उनको वहीं पर हम पासपोर्ट देने की व्यवस्था करते थे, वीज़ा देने की व्यवस्था करते थे, एक और अन्य समस्याएं उनकी सुनते थे। उसके साथ वहाँ पर जो गवर्नर है, मेयर है या लेजिस्लेटर्स है, उनके साथ मीटिंग करके उनको भारत के बारे में बताते थे। सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ हमारी मीटिंग करते थे हम लोग, कल्चरल प्रोग्राम उसी वक्त करते थे। और उसके अलावा एक पत्रकार परिषद, मीडिया के साथ एक बैठक करते थे, जिसमें उनको हमारे विज़िट के बारे में भी बताते, भारत और अमेरिका के संबंधों के बारे में भी बताते और आप किस तरह से भारत से जुड़ सकते हैं इसके बारे में भी बताते थे। तो इसका एक बहुत अच्छा असर हो गया कि भारत के कॉन्सुलेट की इमेज अच्छी हुई, भारत की इमेज अच्छी हुई और लोग ज़्यादा मात्रा में भारत आने भी लगे, टूरिज़्म भी बढ़ गया। दूसरा, हमने भारत के स्टेट्स का परिचय वहाँ नहीं होता है, तो हमने एक वहाँ शुरू किया प्रोग्राम कॉल्ड इंडिया स्टेट बाय स्टेट। तो इंडिया स्टेप बाय स्टेप की जगह पे इंडिया स्टेट बाय स्टेट शुरू किया, जिसमें भारत के राज्यों का परिचय कराना शुरू किया। उसको भी बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला, क्योंकि पीपल डिड नॉट नो कि वी हैव गॉट सच अ डाइवर्स country, such a diverse costume, such a diverse culture within our own country. That was revelation for them. हमने अपना जो वीज़ा और पासपोर्ट सिस्टम है या लोगों से संपर्क का जो व्यवस्था है वो पूरी बदल डाली। जितना पीपल सेंट्रिक, पीपल फ्रेंडली करना संभव है वो सब उसमें हमने करने की कोशिश की। वीज़ा देने के लिए या पासपोर्ट देने के लिए हमने 24 आवर्स, 48 आवर्स, 72 आवर्स इस तरह के लिमिट जो है वो सेट कर दिए। तो इसमें बहुत आनंद आता है कि देश के लिए कुछ करने का, और वो भी विदेश में। इट इज़ अ वेरी इट्स अ जॉय दैट यू कैन नॉट डिस्क्राइब इन वर्ड्स। उसके बाद जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, मैं सेक्रेटरी बनकर विदेश मंत्रालय में आ गया, और यहाँ पर मेरे पास जो चार्ज था उसमें से एक था ओवरसीज़ इंडियन अफेयर्स और दूसरा जो था वो काउंसलर पासपोर्ट वीज़ा। और फिर मुझे ये एक मौका मिला जिसमें मैंने पूरा अपना 2-3 फ्रंट पे काम किया। पहले तो प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस जो है बेंगलोर और वाराणसी में जो अनप्रेसिडेंटेड लेवल पे आयोजित किया गया, उसमें मुझे अपना योगदान देने का मौका मिला। These were 2 largest Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, where excellent participation from outside and a huge organizational effort went into it. The second thing where I really worked hard and tried to create a new system or improve the old system is the welfare scheme for Indians abroad, particularly Gulf countries में आप जानते हैं कि more than 80 lakh people of Indian origin or NRIs, they are in the Gulf countries. They are primarily working people and they have a lot of difficulties there. There are issues about their contract being changed suddenly, there are issues about job being lost suddenly, there are issues about the exploitation by the travel agents, by the recruitment agents. So we have a welfare system there called Indian Community Welfare System scheme. So I completely revamped that, made it very user friendly, made it people friendly, and today I can tell you with some kind of assurance that no Indian can suffer outside the country in distress. Embassy will always be there to help them, because that kind of arrangement has been made. The scheme has been worked in such a way that their shelter for a few weeks can be taken care of, their food can be taken care of for a few days, any emergency medical help, emergency legal help can be provided to them. If the dead body has to be transported to India, embassy will come and help you. So that kind of a very elaborate scheme has been worked out, where the person does not have to incur any expenses. Government of India will incur those expenses. So that is a very satisfying exercise that I was able to do. And finally, I had the opportunity of changing our passport system. It happened primarily because we had an excellent minister that time, Madam Sushma Swaraj, late Sushma Swaraj. She was very interested in expanding the passport system. So she really had this conference, and in my first meeting with her after coming from New York, she asked me what can we do to start more passport offices. It came as a challenge to me. That time we had only about 70 passport offices, and this is a huge country of 1.3 billion people, and many districts did not have passport offices. So, and we were adding every year about 4 to 5 offices. That was not adequate. So what we decided under her guidance, that let us try to contact the postal department, and they have lots of offices all over the country. Their spare space is available with all of them, and it is going without any use. It is getting, in fact, dilapidated conditions are coming to it. So why not take that space and start passport centers there? We engaged the postal department in Delhi. We went there, explained to them the scheme. Initially there was some reluctance, but later on they realized that this is a big opportunity. Big opportunity because for every passport that was going to be issued through the passport office, passport department, postal department will get a small fee. It was not free. We had, as you know, TCS at the front office, postal department there for the space, and we had, of course, we did not have to rent then the new places, and we started. 26 January 2017 was a day I cannot forget. We started 2 new passport centers in the post offices, one in Gujarat and one in Karnataka in Mysore, and from there was no looking back. Every day new offices were being opened in the country, and today we have more than 500 passport offices in the country. I do not think there has been any such project where in such a short period so many offices of the government have been opened, and they are all working. All of them are issuing passports. Then came the second part of it. Okay, we have got the passport offices, all right, but what about the rules and regulations? That time there were 16 different forms required to be filled in. We said that let us see why these forms are there, and those who are not required, let us cancel them. As a result, we retained only 3. Today, my friends, आपके पास अगर पैन कार्ड है, आपके पास अगर चुनाव का कार्ड है, इलेक्शन कार्ड, एंड आपके पास अगर पैन कार्ड, चुनाव कार्ड और आधार कार्ड, ये 3 कार्ड अगर है आज के दिन में, तो आपको पासपोर्ट मिल सकता है। पहले ये था कि किसी गैजेटेड ऑफिसर के पास जाओ तो उसका ठप्पा अगर है तो आपको जल्दी मिलेगा, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी नहीं मिलता था। बीच में बड़े सारे एजेंट्स थे। तो हमने सिस्टम इतना सरल, इतना फ्रेंडली बना दिया कि आज आप स्मार्टफोन से पासपोर्ट एप्लीकेशन कर सकते हैं, स्मार्टफोन पे अपॉइंटमेंट ले सकते हैं, और आपको बिना किसी difficulty के you will get your passport in a few days time. Renewal of passport has become extremely easy now. People often tell me that within 2 days or 3 days they got the passport delivered in their house. So, digitization helped here, integration of data helped, ease of filling in the form, ease of documents where this. We also took care that single parents, they do not have to mention the name of the spouse, former spouse or ex-husband or ex-wife. Children of such parents do not have to mention the name of both the parents. This is in a sense revolutionary changes. We also brought the third gender in picture. We also made special concessions for children from the orphanages. We also had to make provisions for sadhus and sannyasis who mention the guru as the name of at the place where the name of father is to be written. So, all these changes were very people centric and it had changed the whole system of passport issuance in this country, and I am very happy because I had this feeling that passport is actually the right of every citizen and it should be made easy. This thought had earlier come to my mind when my mother and my father, they were to come to Japan and I was a young officer in embassy in Tokyo, and I realized that they had to come 500 kilometers, stay in a friend's or relative's house, make 3-4 rounds of going to the passport office, and I said that if my parents me being in the foreign service, they have to face so much of difficulty, what must be happening to the ordinary person. And I am happy today that even if my parents, they were alive today, they were not unfortunately alive, they would have had to go only 5 kilometers from my village to get the passport. This is the paradigm shift in the system. Sometimes people call me passport man of India, but I do not take that credit myself. I give the credit to my dynamic ministry, the dynamic minister, the foreign secretary that time, who is currently the foreign minister, Mr. Dr. Jaishankar. It was a teamwork, and therefore the process was very smooth, and I must say it went like this. Within a short period of 3 years, we have now more than 500 offices in the country. If one has to really write a piece of administrative reforms and changes, the passport system today can be quoted as a model of such development. It includes technology, it includes ease of doing business, and it also has a people centric approach into this whole system. So, that is how we changed the passport system, and that was my last posting in the Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi before I retired. So, when I retired, I can tell you I really retired with a great sense of satisfaction and gratitude for getting such an opportunity as a foreign service officer to change the system in such a manner. So, इसमें एक मैं ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा आपको about the cooperation between Ministry of External Affairs and other ministries. जनरली हमारे कंसेप्ट रहती है कि ये सब साइलोज में काम करते हैं और कहीं लोग करते भी हैं, लेकिन what I have learnt from my own experience is more we interact with other ministries, more ideas for improvement of the system of governance can come forward. And passport was one such unique example where we had to really engage the postal department, have several rounds of negotiations because there were so many small things involved. How will the manpower be used? Who will be issuing the passport actually? Will it be from somebody from external affairs or postal department person? What will be the arrangements for safety, security of the data as well as the premises of that part? How many people from postal department will be deputed this side? So, this required a very close interaction and very intense negotiations with the Department of Postal Affairs. Such negotiations normally takes place between the External Affairs Ministry and other ministries on a regular basis. Supposing there are issues related to women and child development, because now these issues are also discussed in many international forum. You might be knowing the case of Kulbhushan, who is there, whose case is there in the International Court of Justice. So, we have to in such matter deal with the Ministry of Legal Law and Justice. We have to have a very close interaction with them. So, a similar thing is with almost all the ministries, whether it is Finance Ministry or Defence Ministry. Sometimes we procure equipment for defence from abroad. So, one foreign service officer is there deputed in the Ministry of Finance at a senior level. Similarly, we have an officer in the Finance Ministry, we have an officer in Commerce Ministry. So, these are the interactions that we have constantly going on. We also have an officer in Atomic Energy Commission in Mumbai, because there is a lot of cooperation that goes on between India and other countries, and they need a foreign service officer to interact and help them in interacting. So, this is how as a country, as a system we develop. Ministry of External Affairs, while it is interested with the international relations, it has to work very closely with every organ of the state in the center as well as in the state, with the state governments, and therefore, this is happening as we speak, and therefore, now India has been able to build such a robust mechanism or robust policies of diplomacy and foreign relations. So, in the end I would say that irrespective of which service you join, where you work, ultimately Satyameva Jayate, the nation building is the most important thing, and that is the opportunity that we get in the foreign service or IAS or IPS or IRS or any other services. In fact, as I mention often, first time I realized that I am not a Marathi or I am not from a place called Kolhapur, but I am truly an Indian was when I joined the services, and this realization came to me in Mussoorie when I met friends from all over the country. So, this is the great opportunity that we have. Let us pledge that through these services we will make our nation number one on the global platform. Thank you.